Hi, this is Tracey from Tracey Young Creative here in New Zealand, and I just wanted to share today with you about the creative journal I've been working on in a group setting. And this was just our first page after a nature walk, and we created a map of where we wanted to go, and we were basing this on a pilgrim's journey or a hero's journey. And we stuck little bits of nature in, and the first page was around hearing the call to adventure, and we used the colors as a bit of a roadmap as to the way to go around each page over the 6 sessions that we had. And each session we had a morning page, and then we had an afternoon one, and this was a spiral page, just sort of a deepening of what we were exploring. And then we moved on to this was a following session, which was the lantern, and it was when you hear the call but you don't want to go, and it's calling on your helpers to help you. Then our following session was the belly of the whale. I think this was our midway session, which is a common thing to have happen. And we worked on the kind of the questions that can come up, that when we set boundaries, what are some of the possibilities that can come from that, and what are the barriers that hold us back. Then we had the tree, where we looked also at our teachers, wise teachers from the past, and create a bit of a page with that, and also a wise creature that could come and help us. We did always these extra pages in the afternoon, and this is where I first started coming across this idea that something else was going on in our hero's journey, because we were a mature group. So in the morning we were looking at the hero's journey, which is a great reference, looking at from a young Jungian or Joseph Campbells perspective. But then in the afternoon, because we're sort of all more mature women, this echo was starting to come about, well, what about what's happening for us? And there was this almost the word that I've found that fits this now is about eldering, and that this was actually a call to eldering. And in this picture here, we found there was a pattern or a key that could help us. And then there's this vessel here, the vessel of healing, and inside this vessel is the elixir, an elixir that we have to share with the world. The following session then, we'd sort of come through a threshold, and we're looking into the future and needed to create and find some magical helpers who are going to help us with the next part of the journey. And then again, that second page, when this one was about the labyrinth, and using the labyrinth to take a question in, as the age-old pilgrims would have done, and also working on that final path. This was in the final session, and the final session of this sequence, and this is the Cave of Wonder, and it's arriving sort of back to where we started, but at the same time we're transformed, and it was just looking at all the different possibilities that are available to us, and answering the questions that we'd sort of set out with in the beginning. And again, this was in the second question, the second part of this session, and we created a little magazine book with basically a synopsis of each of the sessions, and again a pattern or a key to take with us to help us arrive back home, because we are changed and we're doing things in a different way. And this was one of the final sessions, which was around, it's all coming away now, but it was around this possibility of the map and using some key phrases and getting ready for what's possible for the new. So I'm just going to try and see if I can change my camera. I'm just going to see if I can. I'm not quite sure if we can do this. We'll just see. Yeah, there we go. So that's the basic idea of the book. This is my new studio here in New Zealand. I'm just going to lift the other camera up a little bit. Yeah, so there's a basic outline there of what we've been working on in the last 6 weeks. But the reason I really wanted to share it was because we came across this thing that we're not quite finished, and that we want to carry on. And what was coming forward was that actually we could look at the book in a different way and see that one was part of a journey, but the other one was also around eldering and what that means in our modern world and the gifts that are available to us in midlife and onwards. And so that sent us off searching, and so we are planning on having another 4 sessions to explore eldering and the gift and what we have to offer the world. And alongside that also there's this call to do some creative work with our ancestors. So that will be coming in the coming months. So anyway, I thought you might enjoy that, and I'm really curious to hear if anybody else is having this sort of call to eldering coming out. But otherwise, all the very best to you, and we'll see you next time. Bye.